Many Filipinos look toward other countries for a better life. They hear stories of good jobs and high salaries. Cambodia has become one of these destinations. It seems close to home, and the promise of work is strong. People in the Philippines see advertisements online. They hear from friends or relatives who have already made the journey. These stories paint a picture of opportunity, a way to escape the struggles they face back home. The dream is simple but powerful. Earn enough money to support their families, send their children to good schools, and maybe, just maybe, save enough to build a small house or start a business of their own someday. Arriving in Cambodia is a shock to the senses. The air feels different, heavier with humidity and the smell of unfamiliar spices and incense. The sounds of Phnom Penh or Sihanoukville are a chaotic symphony of tuk-tuk engines, street vendors calling out in Khmer, and music blasting from storefronts. The initial feeling is often one of wonder. The grand temples, the bustling markets, and the wide rivers are unlike anything they have ever seen. However, the bright hopes that carried them here can quickly begin to fade as the reality of their new situation sets in. The job they were promised might be different from what was described. The friendly agent who helped them might suddenly be hard to reach. The city that looks so magical in pictures can feel lonely and confusing when you don't speak the language. The daily routine for many O.F.Ws in Cambodia is a repetitive cycle of work, eat, and sleep. The alarm clock rings early in the morning, long before the sun rises over the city. They quickly get ready in the quiet of their shared rooms, careful not to wake their roommates. A simple breakfast, often just instant noodles or bread, is eaten in a hurry. The workday begins, and for the next 10, 12, or even more hours, they are immersed in their tasks. There is very little time for rest or personal moments during these long shifts. The jobs they do are varied, but many find themselves in the booming online gaming and casino industries or in customer service roles. This often means working in large, windowless office buildings, sitting in front of a computer for hours on end. The pressure is immense. They have to meet strict quotas, handle difficult customers, and are constantly monitored by supervisors. The work is draining, both mentally and physically. The living conditions for many O.F.Ws in Cambodia are far from the comfortable life they dreamed of. Many are housed in company-provided dormitories or apartments, which sound convenient but often come with significant drawbacks. These living spaces are typically small and overcrowded. It is common for 4, 6, or even 8 people to be crammed into a single room, sleeping on bunk beds with very little personal space. There is often just one shared bathroom for a dozen or more people. Privacy is a luxury that most cannot afford. Kitchen facilities, if they exist at all, are shared among many residents and are often inadequate for preparing a proper meal. The environment is not one that feels like home. It is simply a place to sleep before another grueling day of work. On video calls, they will carefully position their phone to show only a clean corner of the room, avoiding the crowded bunk beds or the peeling paint on the walls. One of the darkest secrets that many O.F.Ws in Cambodia face is, honestly, the reality of exploitation. Their passports are often confiscated by their employers, which is a common tactic used to prevent them from leaving. This immediately puts them in a position of powerlessness, trapping them in a job they just cannot escape from. They become indebted and controlled. The working conditions themselves are a major source of hardship. Wages are often much lower than promised, and employers will, find ways to make illegal deductions for things like food, housing, or penalties for even minor infractions. Overtime is frequently mandatory but goes unpaid. They are treated not as human beings with needs and rights, but as cogs in a machine, easily replaceable if they complain or fail to perform. This exploitation creates a climate of fear. Workers are afraid to speak up about unfair treatment because they risk losing their job, which is honestly their family's only source of income. Beyond the physical hardships and workplace exploitation, the most persistent pain for many O.F.Ws is, honestly, the profound sense of loneliness. They are thousands of miles away from their families, their friends, and everything that is familiar and comforting. Every day they're surrounded by foreign sights, sounds, and languages, which constantly reminds them that they're outsiders. Homesickness is a physical and emotional ache that never truly goes away. It strikes at unexpected times. It could be the smell of a certain food that reminds them of their mother's cooking, or seeing a family playing in a park that makes them long for their own children. Holidays are particularly difficult. They watch their families celebrate through a small screen on their phone, feeling a deep sense of disconnection. They smile and laugh on camera, but inside, their hearts are breaking because they cannot be there to share in the joy. The digital connection to home is both a blessing and a curse. Video calls allow them to see their family, but they also highlight the moments they are missing. Fear is a constant undercurrent in the lives of many O.F.Ws in Cambodia. This is not just the fear of a demanding boss or losing a job. It is a deeper, more pervasive anxiety about their safety and security. News stories and rumors circulate within the community about scams, illegal detentions, and even violence. They hear of fellow Filipinos who were lured into illegal operations and then trapped, unable to leave. The legal landscape in a foreign country can be confusing and intimidating. Many O.F.Ws are not fully aware of their rights, or they don't know who to turn to if those rights are violated. The language barrier makes it difficult to seek help from local authorities. There is a persistent fear of being on the wrong side of the law, even unintentionally. This fear is often hidden from their families back home. In their calls and messages, they project an image of confidence and stability. They don't want to add to their family's worries. So they carry this burden alone or share it only with their most trusted friends in Cambodia. The echo of fear is a silent scream in their hearts. Even in the midst of hardship, moments of light and joy manage to break through the shadows. These are often small, simple things that take on great significance. A kind word from a supervisor, a shared joke with a coworker, or successfully helping a difficult customer can be a small victory that brightens an entire day. Friendships formed with fellow O.F.Ws are one of the most powerful sources of support. These bonds are forged in the shared experience of struggle and sacrifice. On their one day off, they might pool their money to cook a feast of Filipino dishes, filling their small apartment with the familiar smells of home. Discovering the beauty of Cambodia can also be a source of joy. On a rare day off, a group of friends might decide to visit the magnificent temples of Angkor Wat. Learning a few words of the local Khmer language and being able to order coffee or greet a shopkeeper can bring a surprising sense of accomplishment and connection. The story of O.F.Ws in Cambodia is ultimately a story of the unbreakable Filipino spirit. It is a testament to their incredible resilience in the face of immense adversity. They endure long hours, low pay, and profound loneliness, yet they do not give up. Their motivation is powerful and pure, the love for their family. To improve their situation, a combination of personal and institutional support is crucial. On a personal level, the community they build among themselves is their most important asset. On an institutional level, the Philippine Embassy and related government agencies must be more proactive. They need to provide accessible legal aid, conduct regular wellness checks, and crack down on illegal recruiters. In the end, the narrative of the O.F.W in Cambodia is one of hope. It is the hope for a better future that fuels their journey and sustains them through the darkest times. They dream of the day they can finally return home, not with empty pockets, but with enough savings to build a better life. They hope for a Philippines where such sacrifices are no longer necessary, where families can stay together because there are enough opportunities at home. Until that day comes, they will continue to persevere, their spirits buoyed by small joys, the camaraderie of friends, and the enduring love for their family. Their resilience is their armor, and their hope is their light for tomorrow.